Hello everyone, welcome back and let us start the second part of the Dooa Neoglass Air series, that is the planting. So for those who haven't watched the first part of the video, please do watch it, and for those who have already watched it, a lot of thanks to you and also to my subscribers. So in this part, first we can see that the first part was only hardscaping, and after that I was daily changing the water, and now it's quite fine. But the only problem is, see this driftwood in which you can see here, there's a lot of fungus. So that means it's not cured properly. So I'll take this out and I'll cure it again. And by curing, there is nothing special about it. It's just keeping this immersed in a vessel and then boiling it for a few minutes or something, and then you can maybe dry it out to see that all the fungus and the resins are gone. So with that, the next thing which is going to be done is we'll be draining the water and then planting. So I have got my aquascaping tools here, that is the tweezers and the scissors if required. And actually this tweezer is a bit big for this, so if you have a small one it will be easy to plant in this cave, but I don't have a small one, so let's make use of this. Now I'll introduce you to the plants which I have. The first one is Eleocharis parvula, that is also known as the dwarf hairgrass. This actually, you might think it's very little in quantity, but don't worry. This plant actually sends off runners, and with that gradually it will cover the entire scape or the background. The next plant which I have here is a moss, which is commonly known as Christmas moss. So we won't be planting it like normal plants. We'll be tying it to the driftwood here, and maybe here. So it actually enhances the look or the beauty of the scape. There are a few more plants which I have, which I'll introduce now. This one, this is the Anubias barteri Nana petite. Nana gold. This is the gold variety of it. This actually also does not need soil. It does not need to be planted into the soil. So we can actually place it in between the rocks. For example, see here, or also maybe here also. These are quite examples. So while planting, I'll see which makes it look better, and we'll plant it there. And one more Anubias. I have one more Anubias here. This is the Anubias barteri Nana petite, which I was talking about. The other one was gold. So this also goes into the same idea, that is in between the rocks or driftwoods. Then one more plant which I have here is cryptocoryne axelrod. This was actually planted in my aquascape. So it's fully grown now, and the colors of the leaf are peculiar in this one, so that's why I chose this plant. One more thing is, I tried this growing this plant sub-immersed, that is the roots in water and the leaves can come out of the water. So when that happens, actually the leaves will turn dark green, and it will look really good. So we have light green, dark green, and many other colors in combination. One more plant which I have here is known as Riccia fluitans. So this also does not actually need any soil. So we can just tie it to the stone and maybe place it anywhere. So when this grows out, it will actually look like kind of a bush. So that will also enhance the view or make the aquascape more beautiful. So with that done, these are the plants which I am going to use now, and maybe in the future I may add few more or less. So let us see based on that. And so for the plants to be introduced, or for planting, I'll be taking out the water And some of the things which I use for the planting are these. This actually I have already used. This is the Riccia Line from ADA. So this is nothing but a nylon kind of thread. So how do we use it is, I placed the Riccia fluitans on this and tied this thread around it. That's all that it takes. And this is also a new product launched by ADA, that is the Dooa Terra tape. So it's like a cotton kind of tape which actually has some kind of a capillary effect. That is, if one part of this is inserted in water, it can absorb the water or it will send the water upwards. So when I am tying the moss to this driftwood, I'll be actually tying this Terra tape first, and then above that I'll be keeping the moss and then tying it. And for the maintenance or growth of plants, healthy growth of plants, I have two products here which I'll be using. That is, this is the Dooa Suikei-Liquid or Wabi-Kusa liquid, I think. No, this is Suikei-Liquid. This is an all-in-one fertilizer for the plants. So I just need to add a very little amount daily because this is a very small scale, and so it's okay. Here it says in the recommendation that I need to add 1 ml for 10 liters of water. So this basically has around 3 liters of water, that's all. So it's not going to need much more, maybe just a press, that's all. And for the moss or the plants which are kind of growing above the water, for them I'll be using this. This is the Wabi-Kusa mist. So it's kind of spray. It will be like this. I can just spray it. And also one more benefit is that it also acts like insect repellent. So that will also be good because you don't want any insects coming to your aquascape. You don't want to find them dead in the next morning. So avoid that. This is helpful. So with that done, let's begin today's scaping. So now I'll be draining the water. So see you after that. So now that we have removed the water, so we can start planting. And okay, this is actually because of the spraying. And always remember, you need to keep spraying the plants with water because they'll dry out and may die as well. So here also I'm just spraying the water little by little. And actually first thing we'll be doing is we'll be tying the moss on the driftwood, because once the driftwoods are done, then we can easily plant beyond. Otherwise, if we do the planting of the other plants like this and then try to take out the driftwood, there's a chance that everything will get messy. For tying the driftwood, so we are using the basic polyester thread, and so with that, let us begin. So this is the moss. Okay, I can show it to you once more. This is the moss, and I'll actually sprinkle it with water and keep it here. First, I think we can start with this driftwood. Actually, there's a bit of soil beneath. We need to take that off. Then after that we'll be using this Terra tape to wind or cover this driftwood with it so that it absorbs the water. So then with one more good amount of spray, let's start. And so this is how it looks, the tape. If you actually drop the tip in water, it will absorb, or the water just raises up, I think by the capillary effect or something. Then first thing is tying this. I think this will be enough for this driftwood. Just tie it off and place it here. So actually see, it's very simple and easy. You don't need to stick it or tape it or anything. Just go like that. And okay, now we need to spray this one before planting. Okay, now it's nice and wet. Now the thing is, you can take this moss, split it up into small portions like this. Just give it a nice press. See, easy. One more bit. Actually, when planting this moss, always be careful not to make it too thick, because if the moss is too thick, the underlying part of the moss actually won't get any light and it may die off. So make sure it's just a thin layer of moss. We don't have good quantity of moss. So it's okay. Maybe in the future I can order some and plant this again if I need more moss. Now that's done. Now next is tying it with thread. For this, actually we'll tie a knot first and then keep on going backwards or in indirection. That is to hold the moss in its place. So first tying a knot here in the beginning. bit tricky. It. Just cut this off. See how beautiful it looks with a good kind of naturality. So that's in place. Now we'll start with this. Okay, so then let's plant moss on this driftwood. So we only have this much moss left. So here actually I'm thinking of a different idea, that is I'm not planning to use the Terra tape because there are small grooves here, and also if you see this wood, it's actually pretty wet on this side, so that means the water or moisture is available there. So I'll be just planting the moss in between these grooves, or what can I say, ridges between the wood. So let's see how that goes, and in the future if I feel they're dying out or drying up, I may actually use Terra tape and then reattach it. Okay. See that it has actually a very good natural look, like it's growing out of the woods, from the wood. Okay, now similarly there is one more groove below here, so we have a little bit more left, and we'll add this. Okay, so we are done with that. 2 grooves where moss is growing, and maybe in the future if I need, I may add moss with Terra tape in this section or not. So let us see how it looks in the future. Keeping this back to its original position. Okay, now there's a little bit more of moss left. I think we can put it on this. Okay, actually this is where the water comes through, so this will always be supplied by water, so I don't think there is a need to use Terra tape here. So I'm directly going and just tying the moss here. Okay, so we are done with that moss tying, and next, okay, we'll start with this cryptochlorine. So I'll take 2 of this, and I think I'll plant it in this section behind the tank. Okay, here seems to be good. Here you can see the roots are a bit long. You can actually cut it, this section, and then plant it, because that again stimulates the root growth. That's done. Now, okay, let's plant the hair grass, the dwarf hair grass, which I showed you earlier. So what I did was I just took it out from that packet and just gave it a good rinse, and now I'll be separating them into small bunches, maybe like this. Okay, so we are done with the planting of the hair grass. Now the next is Anubias, barteri, nana, gold, and here also I think we can trim this long root a bit. So where should I place this? Next comes the Anubias barteri nana petite. For this we need to find grooves again. So let's see. Remember to always keep spraying with water so that the plants won't dry out. Next comes the Riccia fluitans, and I think I'll place them randomly, like maybe one here. Okay, maybe that doesn't look natural enough. Okay, well, about one here. Next one, I think maybe here. One can be placed in this part. One more remaining. I think I'll place it on this rock. There is good water flow there, and also it will be immersed. Okay, one more final change. This. Okay, that finishes up the planting of the scape, and the next thing, which is very important regarding planted aquariums or planted scapes, which is nothing but lights. You need a good source of light so the plants can grow and mature well. And today I'll show you one more light which I have, which I'll be using for this scape, and that is this one, ONF 1 flat. This is mainly for nano aquariums. It's an LED light. So let's see. So this is the light, and if you can see here, it's mentioned 15 watts, and the color temperature is 7000 Kelvin, 1300 lumens, and yeah, it's an LED one. So let's see how this goes with this tank. This is the stand for it. Since you need to just fix it here. And actually there's a stand here which I already fixed, so it comes along with this itself. You can just keep this aquarium above, and you can actually increase the height also. See, there's a structure here, the rubber band kind of thing here, with which if you can move it down, can increase the height, and if you go down, if you move it up, you can reduce the light. So considering this tank and the moss, because it will be mostly outside water, or not immersed, it might dry up soon, so I think I'll keep this light a bit high. Okay, I think that'll do. Now let's turn these lights on and see how beautiful this aquarium looks. This is the adapter which comes along with it. Now I think you can understand what I meant by a good light. This, it gives a good highlight to this aquascape or the miniscape. And one more thing about this light is that it has a different intensity settings. This is 100%. I think this is 50, and then 25. Again back to 100. Okay, so now the main thing remaining in this is filling up the water and starting the pump. So let's get a look at it after that and see how it is. So guys, what do you think about this full setup? And actually the water is a bit cloudy because we just disturbed the substrate behind, but it will eventually clear up. And as far as I know, it really looks good and I really like it. I really like what I did, and if you also enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to my channel for future videos. And that's me signing off. Bye bye.